Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode, another bowl game preview here on Big Ten Talk. Today, I am here with the producer and one of the co hosts of the Message Board Geniuses podcast, which is my personal favorite. Casey is here today. Casey, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a bit this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Emily. I've been trying to find my way onto this show in some way, but the whole Big Ten thing, like I didn't have a connection. And thank God the Pinstripe
Thank
Bowl
God
is
for
happening.
thank God for bowl season, right? It's
That's
actually
right.
been really fun being able to talk to people from other conferences and from other teams because of postseason. And so I'm like really excited. I'm really excited to have you here and get to talk some ACC, talk some Clemson. I think it's going to be a great time. But first, let's talk about your amazing podcast because, like many people know, it is one of my favorite podcasts, perhaps my favorite podcast and in general, not even about like just college football, my favorite podcast in general. And you guys do such a great job every single episode, making us laugh, talking about things, having questionable draft choices when you guys do that. But really, it is such a great time. So, this is a safe space, Casey. Go ahead and tell me what you hate about your co hosts. It's okay. You can be honest. Okay, fine. What do you
It's
love
so
about the
funny.
show? What do
No.
you love about hanging out with them?
Yeah, it's just I'm so fortunate to ride the coattails of MBG. We call him at Board Geniuses on Twitter. He has such a great following on X or Twitter or whatever it is, and from being willing to help others on start a podcast. He asked me to kind of help him. And I
Right.
went from being just initially just the voice of God. I was going to be the one just to read everything and kind of be on the I didn't want to be on camera, if you will.
Right.
But after, talking to him and talking to who's an amazing guy too, and Courtney, obviously, and Joy before Courtney, it's just such a fun thing. I look forward to it every week. Heck, how can you not have fun when you're just reading off the wall message board posts about the sport
Right.
we love? So it's a blast, and I'm just again so fortunate to be part of the crew. I don't know how I weaseled my way into that one either, but I'm gonna ride it for as long as they'll allow me.
No, it is really amazing content. And sorry, I didn't actually look up your LinkedIn before I had you on the show so I could give you the entire LinkedIn introduction you usually do for
It's
guests.
long. It's long.
But I imagine absolutely I didn't look up your Wikipedia either, Casey. So I'm really not doing well as the host here. But I want to know, especially because like I was telling you before the show, I like rarely get you one on one and get to talk to you. I would love to know like what has been the your favorite draft that you guys have done so far.
Oh, I think, and I came on today like racking my brain, thinking like, should I do my shtick on Emily's show too, or should I try? And there's a fine line. Like it kind of is
Right.
really me. But I think the one that I really enjoyed was I believe it was the our favorite movies maybe at one point, and I did 4 Reese Witherspoon movies. So I really like
Yes, I
that.
remember.
Or I did
Yeah.
one where Jennifer Aniston movies. Or rap the songs. I did the favorite
Right.
songs, and I was able to rap "Summertime" by Will Smith. I
Yeah.
think that kind of stuff where I can kind of I love making people laugh, and if I can get MBG and Who's to laugh,
Yeah.
it's a win. Courtney laughs.
Right.
Courtney laugh. We're on the right side of the screen on when we're recording. She laughs. But to get Who's and MBG to laugh is like my mission. And if I get them to laugh at something I said or something stupid, or even to get MBG to say, "That's just dumb, Casey."
Right.
That I won. I won the episode. So that's my little sneak
Right.
behind the curtain. Like you'll know that I'm feeling good about what we're putting out is if MBG calls me dumb that particular day.
I love it. I feel like I don't even know if a shirt has been made already, but one should just say that's dumb on it. And Diet Coke should absolutely be like sponsoring. Or you do really good trying to get the sponsors for like from
Don't
many
tell me.
different from many different establishments like Taco Bell and all the different things you try to plug in the show every single
Yeah.
episode. You do a really good job with that. But no, I agree. I think the laughing is like one of the things that makes each episode so funny and so great is like you guys just not being able to hold it together and just really cracking up at each other. It's like so much fun to watch. So, big fan. Love what you guys are
Thank
doing.
you.
And I'm super excited to have you here today, Casey, to talk about the Pinstripe Bowl. So go ahead, give me your overall thoughts on this matchup and kind of what it is you're looking forward to.
I think anytime you have a game against a team that you don't play ever, I think the last
Right.
time that these 2 teams played was, like, in the early '80s, and I don't wanna misquote it. I think it's, like, '82, but,
Okay.
again, I just contradicted myself. See? In character.
I know.
But I think that's always fun. When I was in school, we had to play in the Peach Bowl, which wasn't, uh, where it is today, which is hosting college football playoff games, but it was always against an SEC team. And 4 out of my 5 years in school, we played a different SEC team. Now we were the constant there, but we played Tennessee, we played Mississippi State, we played LSU one year. Like that's just fun. We played
Right.
Nebraska in the Gator Bowl. Like it's just fun to play a team from a different conference. Now, also back then, you were playing their full team. This whole opt out thing didn't start. So I'm excited about the Pinstripe Bowl. I really am. And I think when it first started and all these opt-outs were starting with Christian McCaffrey and then all that it's gone crazy since, it kind of it soured me a little bit on the games, but they are exhibitions. And if you can wrap
Right.
your mind around the fact that they are exhibition games now, that you're looking at to the future. So Dabo Sweeney came out yesterday and said that he's looking at 30 upwards of 30 players from the roster opting out, going
Mhm.
to the portal, or going to the NFL. That's a lot.
That is a
So
lot. Yeah.
so we're gonna see names, and then so of course, I'm scouring at Penn State, like, how many opt-outs do they have? And they're expecting a lot more this week, but they have interim coaches, they got an
Yeah.
interim DC, they got an interim quarterback. I mean, like, they don't have players either. So I think it's a glimpse into the future a little bit. I think for the players that are playing, I think it's also an audition with the way that we're living. Maybe they're gonna stay, maybe they're gonna leave, but it's an audition for other teams. So I think the football is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And it's the game that we all wanted to see in the preseason, right? We wanted to see Clemson, Penn State. They were gonna be 1 and 2 going into the national championship, but we didn't think it was gonna
Right.
be in the Bronx, I think.
It is fascinating. I think that's like the fascinating headline about this matchup is like we expected this matchup. We just didn't expect it in this particular bowl in New York. Are you going to this game?
I'm not. No, it's way too cold for me, Emily.
But you're or correct me if I'm wrong. Are you a Yankees fan?
I am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Born and
I
raised in
remember
New
thinking
Jersey.
that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if he's going." And it was like a whole like mental conversation I had with myself, but
No,
I was
we
just
actually get
curious.
to do Christmas in Florida, which is the opposite direction. So I'll be sitting
Yeah.
by a pool, hopefully 70 some degree weather, and, I'm opposite of you. I like the warm. I want it to be
Yeah.
warm
Yeah, I,
and
I I
sunny.
sense that. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like you said, it's rather fascinating. This was some people's projected or predicted national championship game, and so it's kind of cool that we're still seeing it. But the way these seasons have gone for both of these teams is just incredibly. I mean, from an outside perspective, I don't know if you agree or probably don't, but it's wildly fascinating and just like crazy to think about because Clemson obviously, I mean, both Clemson and Penn State underperformed this season, but Penn State also dealt with firing their coach and dealing with interim coaches, like you had mentioned. And so I think this matchup is incredibly fascinating. So your quarterback is playing, though, right?
He is. He
Okay.
is. Yeah, Cade Klubnik will be playing, and I think there's that whole, NCAA lawsuit that kids are trying
Yep.
to get 5 and 5. There was a rumor on social media yesterday that Cade Klubnik would try to come back for a 5th year of
Oh, okay.
5th year of play, which I'm not sure Clemson fans like too much, but, yeah, but he is playing, and I think he has to.
Right. So, what does Clemson have to do in this particular matchup to walk away with a win? And I had actually wrote this down because I thought it was fascinating. Clemson's bowl eligible for the 21st season in a row. And with this win, it would be their 15th straight postseason win, which I'm pretty sure leads college football. So, what does Clemson have to do to kind of continue that streak and walk away with a win?
This is a great question, and, I'll put it out there, I'm not an X's and O's guy, but I will tell
That's
you,
a, yeah.
with who I'm gonna, contradict myself again, but with who Clemson has playing, It's the run the football. So in the last 2 games, Adam Randall, the running back, he was a wide receiver for 3 years and then transitioned over to running back. It was his first season playing running back. This is a 6'4", 215-pound kid who really runs hard and kinda carried the team towards the end of the season. He needs to run the football. He's playing. He's playing for a spot to hopefully get invited to the combine and play in the NFL at a brand new position. He's a baller, and he was fantastic against South Carolina. He was fantastic the week before in very short spurts against Furman. He was fantastic. I'm redundant here, but he's been really good late in the season. If they can run the football, because you don't really know with the opt outs who's playing wide receiver. Uh,
Right.
where it's a joke in Clemson fandoms that you're going to see a Sweeney kid because there's been 3 of them. The youngest is still there. If you see a Sweeney kid just starting, you know we're in trouble. And there's a possibility that the youngest Sweeney may be starting at wide receiver this week, this year in the bowl game. So we really got to run the football again. We're not sure who's going to be blocking, but we do know right tackle um, Blake. Oh my God, I just blanked on his. Blake is going to be playing right
Like, yeah,
tackle,
yeah,
and he's been a 4-year starter for them. Uh, so he's playing. So yeah, run the football. I should have.
run the
That could
football.
have been way shorter of an answer.
I like the long-winded answers though. Actually, that's one of my favorite
It was
things about the
just
podcast is how you can continue going and going. I love it. And is there anything on the Penn State side? Like what concerns you the most on the Penn State side?
are the running backs playing because those 2 kids that they
Yeah,
got
Katron
are.
Allen, I'm pretty sure is. I'm not sure if it's been announced if he's opting out or not.
So we have a lot of attrition up front on the defensive line. We have 2 linebackers that aren't playing, plus one that hit the portal. So their running game really does concern me too. And it's Big Ten football. It's Big Ten in that kind of Pennsylvania, Ohio area. So you know they got dogs on the offensive line, and those 2 kids are fantastic running the football. So yeah, that concerns me. Clemson was really good the last game against South Carolina, stopping Lenora Sellers and the South Carolina run game, but that wasn't necessarily one of the top running games that they faced this year. So there have been problems there. It is their old defensive coordinator Tom Allen facing Penn
Right.
State again too. Obviously, brand new team, I guess, and coaching staff. So he doesn't necessarily have any hints. But yeah, stopping the run because I'm not sure Penn State, even with Drew Aller, was able to throw the football all that well. I don't know why he got a lot of flowers for his career,
He
and
did. Yeah.
I don't know if it was earned, but without him playing, I'm not sure what they even have at quarterback, to be honest with you. And so running the football there too. It might be ugly. It might be like Army Navy, Emily, where and I don't mean Army Navy was ugly, but that first quarter was about 4 minutes long. If you watch the first quarter and
Right.
blinked, it was over because they were just running the football back and forth. I think we might have that this next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of just like from a fan perspective, what are you expecting in terms of like the fans showing up? Do Clemson fans usually travel pretty well, especially considering that it is in New York? I mean, same with Penn State. Like, do you expect Clemson fans to show up in this game?
I do. I do expect them to come in full force. Clemson fans also have a tradition which probably pisses off a lot of people, and I got a little funny side story about it.
Love it.
We stamp $2 bills, so you go to the local banks in and around Clemson, South Carolina, and you can buy $2 bills, and then they stamp them, which is illegal. I think you're not allowed to like deface money, but
Right.
they stamp it with tiger paws and then they go spend them at whatever bowl they're in. So the people in the Bronx, like I wish I was going just to go across the street to the bars and just see Clemson fans trying to buy that $8 Bud Light with 4 $2 bills and just see how the faces of those vendors in the Bronx. Um, I went out to Phoenix for the national championship in 2015, and on my way back out of town, I was buying a soda or something or water or something at the airport, and the lady gave me I had Clemson gear on, and we had just lost to Alabama, and she gave me a $2 bill back. She's like, "I don't want this garbage in my cash register." She gave me a $2 bill back for change. So, but that was stamped with the tiger paws. She's like, "You could
Oh,
use
that's
this
too
more than
funny.
I can." So, but yes, to answer your question straightforwardly, we will show up. You know, Penn State's going to show up because it's
Mhm.
close, and it
Yeah.
is the hometown team. Whether I know it's New York and Pennsylvania, but when you grow up in that tri-state area, that New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, you really had 2 or 3 choices, and it was Penn State or Notre Dame. and maybe Syracuse. I think recently Rutgers has kind of come into play, but it's Rutgers.
Fascinating. So yeah, that sounds really, I mean, it sounds like it'll be a good show out for both sides. Wait, is that like where your Notre Dame hate comes from? Is like growing.
1000%.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever actually made that connection and thought about it. I just know you hate Notre Dame. So that's like what I think about is you hating Notre
More
Dame.
than South Carolina, and I don't like South Carolina.
That's like intense, more than your rival.
It's intense.
That is really intense. Yeah, absolutely. But I respect it fully. I fully respect it. And you made me think of this as you were talking about your story and traveling to Phoenix for the national championship. One of the things that always consistently impresses me is the fact that you've been to many exciting and like good games. And I'm not just talking about college football. It seems like it crosses the span of like many sporting events. Like I know you've talked about you were at the 2015 Rose Bowl against Oregon and Florida State, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Just for fun? Or
Just
like
for
did you
fun.
That's
So
amazing.
another weird thing, one of my customers in Orlando, Florida, I was living in Tampa, Florida at the time. One of my customers was the PA announcer. He's the in-house PA announcer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, he auditioned and got the role for the semifinals and finals for the college football playoff when it first came about. His name's John Magrino. He's still doing it to this day. But he had the Sugar Bowl, but he was able to get tickets for both of the semifinal games. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go?" They give me discounted tickets. It was $150 for the first one,
Wow.
but he gave me four for $75 each. So I paid $300 for four tickets to the first ever, the Oregon, the
Yeah.
Florida State game. It was
That's
awesome.
amazing.
It was
Yeah.
my first experience with Pac-10 fans, and they were intense.
Yeah, that is incredible. Yeah, so I was at that game. I know you and I have talked about this before about how that was one of the best days of my life. And I don't know if you can say the same, but right, I
It didn't
understand.
bother me one bit.
But yeah, that so you throughout our time knowing each other, you just have like talked about like these games that you go to that are not necessarily include Clemson, and it just seems like you've had some really awesome experiences, which I love hearing about and I think is
Yeah.
super cool. But yeah, so do you have a score prediction for this game? If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to, you
Yeah.
can just tell me who you think wins. It can be your
Clemson
team.
wins
Okay, of
314,
course.
Penn State 6.
Yep, that makes
No,
sense to me.
I mean, with you not knowing who's playing is tough. I'm gonna give Clemson the edge just because I'm biased and because Cade Klubnik's playing and Adam Randall's running it. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be low scoring, to be honest, even though we don't know who's playing on either defense. Give me 24-21 Clemson in a close one.
Okay. I was thinking 27-21 Clemson. So not
I'll
super
take it.
far off, but yeah, I am giving Clemson the edge. And kind of just an additional question. When you look at the college playoffs right now, how are you feeling about it? Do you think one team is a very obvious choice to kind of pull away with everything, with it all, and kind of end up in the national championship and win the national championship? Or do you have like a particular natty prediction?
Oh man, this is tough because I hate it and it's complete recency bias, but I've done a couple of those polls on ESPN. We got one from our chat in there and I put and everything points to Georgia for me. And I
Mm,
can't stand it because Clemson and Georgia are closer than geographically than Clemson and South Carolina. So I'm not allowed to say that. And I see Evans in the chat. So I just think the way that it lays out, I think Georgia's better than Ohio State after watching them play. Again, recency bias. The only time I really watched Ohio State was last week, hard, like I full from front cover to cover. I watched Ohio State play Penn State. I watched Ohio State play Texas. But those are my three sample sizes. I just, for some reason, I watch a lot of Georgia, and I just think that they are just built. And Kirby's a jerk, and he is gonna. Yeah, I fear that Georgia's gonna win the national championship.
yep, I could definitely see that considering how Georgia has played, especially in the later part of the season.
Did you
I
get? I
do.
hate that. Did you? You
Yeah,
got that piece right. I hate
yeah,
it.
I know. I agree with you. Yeah, yeah. I hear you loud and clear. Let the record show that
Yeah,
Casey hates this, but he thinks Georgia's going to win it all. Yeah.
I hate it.
Are there any particular matchups that we're going to start seeing this weekend, of course, but kind of in the first round that kind of interest you more than others, or ones that you think are going to be more competitive than maybe other people are talking about?
I think if we learned anything last year, that they're gonna be competitive. Even the Ole Miss beat Tulane 34-0 in the regular
Right.
season. Tulane's going through a transition with a new coach. Ole Miss is going through a transition with a new coach. I get it. I really do. I love it. Maybe I'm in the minority of this. I love these matchups because A, it's college football.
Yeah.
B, it means something now, right? It's the tournament. We're in the NCAA tournament. It elicits that response from me. So I don't think that there, and I'm probably wrong, but I don't think that there's any true blowouts. I think even the JMU Oregon game, I think, do I expect JMU to win? No, absolutely not. But do I expect it to be 114-3? No, I don't there either. Maybe a
Right.
31-14 or 31-17 type of game rather than, a extreme blowout. And so I like them all. I'm gonna sit on the couch and enjoy the new puppy
Yeah.
that we talked about and my kid and watch college football all day, all night Friday, and then all day Saturday. So, I know that's probably not a good answer, but I'm excited
It's a
for all
great.
4 games.
No, I think that's a great answer. You get to enjoy some stress-free football, which is a great place to be. Absolutely.
And it's my
So,
boy's 8th birthday on the Saturday, so
oh, that's exciting.
his present to me is he gets to watch football with
Right.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. What better way to celebrate his birth
That's
than to
right.
sit on the couch and watch football with him?
That's
That's
right.
super exciting though. That's
Yeah.
good. That'll be a fun birthday. I kind of always wish I had a birthday during football season because that would always be like what we do and like what I would want to do is watch football. But,
Is that allowed? No fall weddings. Is are fall
yeah, I mean,
birthdays
I think
allowed?
fall birthday celebrations are allowed if it's oriented around college football.
That's
I
a
don't
good
make the
point.
rules, but it sounds
That's
right. You know?
that's a
It
good point.
sounds it sounds accurate that fall birthdays are allowed if, all we're doing is hanging out and watching college football all day.
I love it.
But no fall weddings, absolutely. No
I
need
had
for
2
that.
this year. Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh, the audacity.
It really and Clemson lost both games. Coincidence?
Mm-mm, nope. See? This is why no fall weddings. Absolutely not. Exactly. Well, Casey, I am super excited for this matchup. Like I said, a lot of us were expecting this matchup, maybe not in the Pinstripe Bowl, but alas, we still get it, despite despite those who might opt out. I think this will be an exciting matchup. I'm excited for more college football, and I love it. Kind of like what you said, when teams who usually don't play each other get to play each other. It's always super fun. People often ask me this about like how I felt with Oregon moving to the Big Ten. And part of my answer is always that. Like, I love the fact that Oregon gets to play teams that they historically just haven't played. Like Iowa this past season. Like, if you told me 10 years ago that Oregon was playing Iowa, I've been like, what happened? What happened in the regular season? Why we're playing Iowa? But that is part of the fun, is getting to play teams that we otherwise haven't played. And that'll only be fun probably until we get through all of them, and then it's like,
That's
okay,
right.
this is our life now. But I think this is going to be an exciting one. I'm excited to watch Clemson, albeit I haven't gotten to watch a lot of Clemson this season, so I'm excited to see them in this matchup. And I am with you. I think Clemson comes out on top just by a few points.
That's why we're friends.
Exactly. Absolutely. Can you tell people where they can find you and your wonderful podcast?
Oh, sure. Me, you don't need to see me, but it's at From Sluggo. It's from a former podcast that I was on. And
Yeah, right there on the screen too.
Casey from Sluggo. And of course, the Message Board Geniuses podcast, where I ride the coattails of MBG, Who's, and Courtney, Meemaw. Everyone knows Meemaw on Twitter. We have a lot of fun. We try to put a show out every week. We have a new one coming out this week with the guys from um, what show are they from? They're from SEC Sunday Night. They're coming on
Okay.
with us this week, so we're excited to have them. And just thank you for having me. I enjoy this and enjoy you and appreciate you and cultivating kindness on Twitter and through your life. You are an absolute gem, and I love that you're doing this. And thank you so much for inviting me to to talk for a little bit.
Oh, thank you so much, Casey. I really appreciate that. This was so much fun. Like I said, we've never had gotten to have this one-on-one conversation. So this has been so much fun. But yes, please check out the Message Board Geniuses podcast. MBG and Courtney have both been on the show. So really it's just who's left. This is the last one who hasn't been on. I know.
And he would be the one that I would expect to be on first.
Right?
But,
There
you
was
draw
no
Mizzou.
Virginia Big Ten team matchup. So maybe it'll come in the postseason, or
Poor
maybe
guy.
with basketball season. I don't know, something, because he's the lone wolf now in terms of the MBG crew. But yes, please be sure to check out their podcast, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the amazing content our creators are putting out each and every week. I will be back tomorrow morning to preview some more bowl games. I hope to see you guys there. Thanks, guys.